What are you doing?
Hmm?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Stupid.
Hey, yo, well, DeeKnow, here we are with another video. Let's go!
Hey yo, what's good? It's Dino, and we're back again with another video full of crazy clips from all over the internet. I hope everybody's doing well today. Let's hop right into it. That's pretty crazy.
Bro, why are you in this situation? Why are you 30 years old working at 7-Eleven? What happened in your life that's so horrible? What happened to you? And honestly, man, I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. I just finally kind of woke up at like last year. Because when I was 20, 21, it was cool. I was working at 7-Eleven. But I ended up going to Starbucks. I was on this really good track. I was going to COD. I was killing my classes, right? And growing up, I had my uncle who I lived with, who's dead now, so I can talk about this story. This guy was like a severe alcoholic, right? And when I mean severe alcoholic, he would wake up, pour some Grey Goose into his coffee, and then go to work. Now, normally, this would be kind of normal, right? Maybe that's my worldview, but I know tons of people who like drink at work. I'm not saying that's a good thing. Obviously, it's really stupid, and driving drunk is horrible. But that's what he would do. And
yeah, that's a ridiculous shit right there.
They want there to be a good guy and a bad guy, and that's oftentimes not really the case.
Well, it's hard to organize yourself for combat unless you are quite convinced that you're the good guy. Mm-hmm. So there's a default to that dichotomy that's a necessary part of, well, even standing your own ground, right? Because otherwise you get demoralized. Mm-hmm. And so I suppose people, well, when they're threatened, they default to a simple narrative, and because that's, you can't defend yourself in some ways.
Did you know there was a time when it rained nonstop for 2 million years? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it actually happened around 230 million years ago. Earth was a completely different world. Dinosaurs ruled the land, and all the continents were merged into one massive supercontinent, Pangaea. But Pangaea had a problem. It was covered with enormous supervolcanoes, which are now located in what we call Canada and Alaska. When these volcanoes erupted, they unleashed unimaginable amounts of carbon and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, triggering extreme global warming. The oceans began to evaporate at an alarming rate, loading the sky with moisture, and eventually all that water had to return. What followed was an era of relentless, highly acidic rainfall, lasting for nearly 2 million years. Entire ecosystems changed, reshaping life on Earth. Just imagine a world where the sun was rarely seen, where the land was drenched in a never-ending storm.
That was 100% AI Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh no, you died. Are you ready to meet God? We don't call ourselves fat, but humans usually do. Wonderful. There is but a simple problem. We are currently trapped in Saturn's cube. The exit is guarded by Vertigian, the Archon of Limitations. Vertigian can only be destroyed by the hallowed bugle. which lies within the dungeon of fragment. Beyond Verdigian lies the crack in the wall. God lives beyond the crack. Verdigian has many enemies you may befriend and leverage, such as Longlow the Flower. If you defeat Verdigian, all of the souls trapped in Saturn's black cube shall be freed. We're depending on you. Only then shall we be able to reunite with God.
That's the story that I want us all to remember.
Alright, so that's the quest.
Here he comes! Here he comes!
Why? So did he steal the mail truck, or did he just go crazy as a mailman?
Hey everybody, we've got some breaking news. So the man known as Victor, who allegedly leaked one of the most controversial and mysterious pieces of UFO related footage ever, known as the alien interview, has just been doxxed. So according to UFO researcher and filmmaker Jon Stewart, the alien interview video is authentic. And Victor, the man who leaked it from Area 51, his real name is Stanton John Willett. Check this out.
I consulted a military insider with access to the Groom Lake entry log, who confirmed to me that an individual named Stanton John Willett was present at the base at a time between 1977 to 1991. This revelation marks a turning point in the alien interview investigation, bringing us closer than ever to uncovering finally, after 30 years, the full truth about Victor's identity and the oranges of this footage. The pieces are finally coming together, and we remain committed to exposing the reality behind one of the most controversial and significant UFO-related leaks in American history.
So if this is actually a legitimate video of a real alien being, the implications are monumental. Let me know what you think.
I think that everybody has way too much time on their hands, and everyone is everything. And once people realize that everyone is everyone and everything is everything and every moment is the same moment, once we all realize that everything is all at one time, just everything, things might get better.
This water taxi to this abandoned island in Italy. The island called Poveglia is a condemned territory by the Italian government. That's me.
Yeah, it's haunted.
And that's our driver.
I really have no choice but to work and work and work and work, or I'm gonna die like homeless at the floor of Walmart. If I don't work, I'm gonna be homeless. I'll be on the street in about a week if I stop working. So my whole life will fall apart. I have no choice but to work. If I don't work, I'm beyond EBT on the streets doing meth. And YouTube demonetized. I don't believe in fate. I don't believe in manifesting. I don't believe in any of that. If it's true, that's great. But one thing I do know is you just gotta work hard at the end of the day. And so yeah, I did a live stream today. It sucked. I had a bunch of trolls in there, so I banned like 5 or 6 people. People were just trolling me nonstop, so I decided to do it. But I did it, 19,000 subscribers today. And you know what? I don't care, because my grandma got hyped about it, which was cool. All right, guys, I got 10 minutes. I'm gonna head in there. And okay, to mine for Bitcoin and all the Bitcoin ETFs. I really think that now it does have value, and I think you should check it out. But no financial advice here, obviously. What the hell do I know? Just getting in. But if I left that, I'd be in trouble.
That's your phone camera.
What is that? What is that? There's like hooks.
Really?
Okay. Okay, it's like
no
some sort of
way.
platform. But he's like, where are you gonna do all these? No. He's built a freaking bike holder. What's even crazier is like 3 babies. Look at these babies. And look at this little cutie. He looks healthy as all get out. This is crazy. It has a holder for every kid. You got the toddler bike, the little baby bikes, whatever like these things are. That is crazy. And a fan setup. They're cup holders. I have
That's
never
awesome,
seen
dude.
anything like that in my life.
Hell yeah. And the engineer guy said he knows somebody that's lit that could get him on.
That's amazing, dude. You do what you gotta do, and I bet those kids have an amazing home life. That's great. Okay, man.
Não, acho que não. Já era.
Aí, deixa assim.
Foi,
caralho. Pessoal, libera! Aí, que emoção. Olha isso, rapaziada. Show.
Cabeça, é isso.
É louco, cara.
Leve. Você é louco, viu?
Bro, they turned it into a war zone. It was just a nice barbecue, and then all of a sudden it became a war zone. What the heck? Bro. Ooh-wee.
They tell us Antarctica is just ice. But what if it's the biggest cover-up in human history? First, look at the maps. Centuries before Antarctica was officially discovered in 1820, it was drawn in detail. Mountains, rivers, even ice-free coastlines. How did they know what was there? Now think about this. No one's allowed to freely explore it. The 1959 Antarctic Treaty, signed by over 50 nations, bans. Some whistleblowers claim there's more than ice. They've spoken about ancient structures buried beneath pyramids, even technology. Satellite images have shown strange shapes too perfect to be natural. And the strangest part, Operation High Jump in 1946. A full-blown U.S. military expedition led by Admiral Byrd returned early, damaged and silent. Rumors say they encountered something not human, so maybe Antarctica isn't just a frozen wasteland. Maybe it's a vault hiding the remains of a lost civilization, or something we were never meant to find.
I mean, there are some interesting things in there, but the AI voice just gets so annoying.
Y'all pay attention to this right now going on in Massachusetts. This is going to be crazy, I bet. This is Massachusetts police officer, or North Andover, Massachusetts police officer, Kelsey Fitzsimmons. She was shot today by her fellow police officers at the North Andover Police Department in Massachusetts. According to all the news articles right now, they say that 3 police officers went to her house to serve her with a restraining order, which is used in domestic violence cases, in which case she was the defendant. Now, according to the police chief, when the 3 on-duty officers went to her house to serve the restraining order, there was some type of armed confrontation, at which point one of the on-duty officers drew their weapon and fired a round at her. striking her. So she was already on administrative leave from the police department. They won't say why, or they haven't said why yet, but when they're on administrative leave, they take their weapon from them. At least she did not have a department-issued weapon at the time. Now, they're not saying a whole lot about this yet. I guess this just happened today, but I'll give you guys an update tomorrow. But stay tuned. You remember what happened here recently in Massachusetts with Karen Reed and the state trooper and all that stuff? It's straight out of Massachusetts. It's going to be a mess. Watch what I say.
Oh, that's nuts. Police officers showing up to serve one of their fellow police officers a restraining order against her partner for domestic violence, and then they end up shooting their own. That's just ridiculous. I wonder what she did. Yeah, that video is never gonna get old. That's crazy though, that he's just standing there with a helium balloon, inhaling the helium to do that. So basically it's a binaural brain massage, because it does feel good. Now that it's stopped, it feels really good. That's very interesting.
He looks way funnier in the scene, bro.
Oh shit, you left. Bro.
Yo. This is.
So it's basically just happening all over the world at this point, not just in specific places like we used to see documented. Now it's basically just the weather sucks everywhere and the earth is retaliating against us everywhere.
You got people out here hella mad that they cannot make you out to be the villain anymore. See, these motherfuckers never understand that one's character is always going to shine over false narratives. And people understand how hard you've been lied on once they get in your presence and really feel your energy for what it is and not for what these people have tried to paint you out to be. You need to understand that you are not ignorant when it comes to this energy shit. And this is why you cannot be feeding into trying to prove people wrong when they speak on your name or spread these false narratives, because energy will never lie. And the righteousness that exists within you is always going to supersede what these people try to place on your name. It's real levels to this energy shit. And these individuals that have to use energy to spread lies on your name are existing within the lowest plane. You all the way up here, so you only doing a disservice to yourself going to their level and matching their energy and trying to prove them wrong, when in all reality, your energy is going to prove them wrong every single time.
Tecnologia!
He's just washing his car, man.
There's a conspiracy theory that claims that we're already dead, and the evidence comes from science. There are two things that are documented to happen when someone clinically dies. The first is that your entire life will flash before your eyes, and the second is that your brain keeps working 7 minutes after your body is gone. And we've literally recorded the brain still firing after death, actively creating memories. So for 7 minutes, we're in this dreamlike state where we're reliving our entire life. And according to this guy you may have heard of, Albert Einstein, time is relative. But what does that actually mean? This is suggesting that 7 minutes in the real world could feel like 100 years in the dream state. Kind of like when you fall asleep, you dream an entire movie, then wake up 5 minutes later. Now here's where it gets weird. Some people believe that we all died in 2012. That's when the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. And remember, this is all just for fun, and this is just a conspiracy theory. This theory suggests that instead of an apocalypse, we collectively slipped into this 7-minute brain echo. And this right here, right now, is our dream. This is us reliving our memories. And little time glitches, little weird things like the Mandela effects, or like deja vu, or feeling like the world is off, those are just cracks in the memory trying to keep itself stitched together. So this theory is saying that that would mean that the world did end and we just haven't accepted it yet. Do you think we're 7 minutes into the afterlife? You can come over here for longer freaky videos.
No, I don't think that we're 7 minutes into the afterlife. What I think is that we might be inside of a matrix that's inside of a matrix that might be inside of a matrix, so that we basically have an infinite physical form life. Because every time you step further and further down, you add hundreds and possibly thousands of years, depending on who you are, how your brain works, how your energy works. So you could potentially be 2,000-3,000 years old in time form in your brain, but your physical body is asleep, like in the Matrix, hooked up in a pod somewhere, and we've all forgotten. I think we're incepted, like Inception. We're layers deep. And that's why all these scientists and whatnot keep finding zeros and ones everywhere. Yeah, I don't know what went on with her, but if y'all haven't seen Amanda Bynes lately, y'all need to go check her out. Like, it looks like a whole different person.
Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. So I've got some updates for you today. This was sent over to me from UFOs around the world. Well, it appears that Professor Simon Holland, which apparently he's not, according to some people within the UAP community, has an alien technological signature been found, is the title of this video. Simon Holland, the science filmmaker, tells the story behind the announcement. In 2022, Breakthrough Listen published a report saying the signal was so weak it might be human radio interference. He interviewed Dr. Andrew Simeon, principal investigator at Breakthrough Listen this year. He told me, we are still listening and studying BLC-1. What is BLC-1? Apparently it's a planet that's orbiting a nearby star. But data now shows the signal is Doppler shifted during observation by the Movable Dish Radio Telescope, Parkes, Australia. This probably means the source is rotating such as a planet, helping to eliminate the possibility it is just human radio interference. The date of confirmation will probably not be in a few weeks, as said in the newspapers. Confirmation will come after the signal can be further analysed. And this was by Professor Simon Holland, the science filmmaker. So this is really interesting. Breakthrough Listen is obviously, that's Mark Zuckerberg's project, isn't it? So apparently there are rumblings that he is in a race with China to verify the validity of this signal, to see if it in fact has signature of technological life, which based on this video, he goes into a bit more detail about. I would ask you to go to Professor Simon Holland on YouTube and watch his video posted on the 12th of October, which is approximately 11 minutes long. It's not very long, it's very short and sweet. But he goes into a lot more detail about where you can refer to the scientific data supporting what he's saying, and also who he's referring to. And these are well-known names within the industry surrounding sort of radio waves and various other things of picking up signals like this. So that's the first bit of information that I'd like you guys to go and have a look at, just to verify it, and also get as many people looking at this as possible, because this is what we do here. We're trying to discuss this openly so that we can get to the bottom of this. Something that's a little bit more pressing. I recently watched the documentary from...
Competing with China to announce alien life. Alright, I'm not so sure that I believe the way that you're putting it, but I'll go look into it myself, and I suggest that everyone else does, because that sounds very interesting, because alien life could be something so simple as like a parasite, or just any kind of microorganism, or like anything that self-replicates or shows signs of intelligence or movement at all, or expansion. That isn't a natural chemical reaction. So it's an interesting thing.
ABC Digital wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Gentlemen. Mr. Cybro.
Yes? If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Cybro, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible. You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Please
I have
give
the
it to
tape.
charity. It'd be fine.
Why don't you swear to... Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Cybro has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Cybro, you do not deserve to answer.
He said you do not deserve answers. I don't know. I don't see why you couldn't just do it. Saying. I mean, because you didn't do it and you can't do that because it would be mocking your leader's enemy. I don't all for entertainment purposes.
Oh, my God!
Why'd you get choke on you?
Oh, I missed it!
Some of that was AI. Once again, whenever we look at these lightning videos, there's always 3 or 4 in there that are fake. But most of them are real, and I always find them really cool to look at.
Here's one thing the government definitely doesn't want you to know.
Joe Biden is hiding from you that dinosaurs still exist. Yes, you heard that right. In Peru, there is a secret CIA base hidden in the middle of the forest called Unit 6. This base has been the subject of numerous conspiracy theories for decades, with some claiming it houses extraterrestrials. In 2017, a man from Brazil named Diego Lopez decided to uncover the mystery behind this place no matter the cost. On October 14th, after conducting meticulous research, he finally decided to venture into this secret base. He drove to the forest near the site and put on a fake CIA vest and badge. Thanks to that, he managed to get inside, and what he discovered will leave you in awe. Diego didn't find extraterrestrials, but hundreds of dinosaurs, and that's not even the craziest part. Some of these dinosaurs measured over 30 feet tall, capable of devouring an entire car in one bite. He managed to capture a short video and then decided to leave and return home to Peru. He posted the video online, but the Secret Services quickly removed it. A few days later, Diego went missing and he was never found again.
Joe Biden is hiding dinosaurs from you.
Bro, get rid of the AI, the VR, all of that stuff, bro. Because what it is doing to people right now is actually scary, bro. It's insane. I'm trying to warn you. The line between reality and it's getting too thin, bro. And I just found out I got bruises on me right now because of it. So, boom, I'm kicking it in my room watching One Piece, not doing too much vibing, bro. I get a call on my phone. It's from one of my homeboys. He tells me he needs my help. They always call me when something insane is going on. It's either one, get my opinion, or two, give me the help because they all watch my TikTok. They know what I do. But the request he gave me was immediately denied, bro. I can't help you with that whatsoever. I don't even want to. Because he was telling me to help his little brother. And I don't want nothing to do with the little dude, bro. He can live his life, but not around me. Because this is the same little brother that got their dog, and then my dog too, I love the dog, put down because he wanted to touch it. Long story short, they had a pretty big cane corso, beautiful dog, sweet dog, there was a girl. Now this little brother had been fondling the dog for years, bro, like 2 years, constantly trying to feel me go crazy with the dog. I'm not gonna get into details because it makes me sad. Now one day the dog finally snapped, and it snapped at the little brother, took a whole chunk out of his arm, bro. And as soon as it happened, oh boy, pulls his pants up immediately, starts screaming to his mama like a soft little boy, because you know what you did to it. And the only reason we know the truth is because one day, old little boy got in trouble with his parents, got his phone taken, and they went through it because they were really scared about their kid. He exhibited some time. And they found an entire photo album of him doing crazy things to the dog. And then he admitted himself everything he's done, and that he lied, bro. And ever since then, I don't care about that little boy. Don't even put me in the same room as him because I love that dog. So while he's on my phone talking about help this kid, I'm looking at him crazy, bro. Until he mentions that he'll pay me $100 and it's really for his mom. And I love his mom, so I did. The whole thing was that he wanted me to help him get his brother rocked into reality and to go to college and live his life because he was graduating like literally 2 days from that point, and he wasn't gonna go to his graduation. He was gonna use his VR headset and get his 2 parents VR headsets so they can see his girlfriend, bro. Society is getting dystopian because ever since the dog situation, he's been locked away in his room. Nobody really talks to him. The family don't like him like that because of what's going on. And this whole time, he's been in VR, using a combination of ChatGPT and VR, and now that new Google Veo stuff to make a model of this perfect girlfriend. Updating saved memory. This kid's really good with computers and coding to the point where he's basically got a girlfriend in that little VR world. It's not even real. And he's completely off the deep end. They've caught him at home multiple times in his room, candles lit, VR headset on, having little fun times with his VR girlfriend, having makeshift dates. He has food in his room that has been sitting out for weeks because no one can touch it. It's his girlfriend's food. I'm talking spaghetti that's been on a plate so long that it's a rock, bro. You could use that to break iron. The most disgusting part that made me sick listening to it is that this weird kid has been having, I guess, fun times with his VR girlfriend, going crazy on the virtual system. And he had been using these same towels because, like, it's a part of her. Like, he sees these towels as, like, her in physical form. So he keeps them in a safe place in the corner of underneath his bed. His mom was cleaning his room one time when he was at school, and she found the towels. They are rock solid, bro. Like, when I tell you they're all black towels, when you first grab it, you would think it's a solid rubber ball. Until you get the stench of, like, body odor and gym socks, bro. Like, it's the nastiest thing I've ever heard in my life. And to make it worse, when old boy got home and found out his mother had touched his girlfriend, he swung on his mother. Thank God he missed. And his mama is no one to play with. She's a whole Samoan, bro, with a fighting background. She came back and pieced that little boy up. But that's the point where she really asked her son and me to try to help this kid so he can finally graduate and not do no weird stuff and be a functioning adult. So whatever. I get ready, I go to the house, bro. Like, it's like the next day, I get out my bed, I go to the house. As soon as I get there, I chop it up with my homeboy, chop it up with the mother, you feel me? Ask what's going on, and we head to the little boy room, we push off. Now, we walk into the room, and I wish I could explain the smell that crept into and violated my nostril. The best way I can explain it is like, imagine a sweet dragon fruit, right? Like that type of sweetness with like a layer of like gym socks and dirt, and then take all of those things, put them into like a juicer with rotten pineapple. That's the best way I can explain it. It was terrible. It was not good, and it smelled like nefarious things that happened in there. Now, when we get in there, boy's on the VR. His mom said that he literally is on the VR 24/7 if he's not at school. They tried to talk to him. They tried to do everything they can. They tried to send him to therapy. Now, this little boy's 18, and they called me for one reason, to give tough love, bro. I don't like him in the first place, so they wanted me to actually go do something. So as soon as I get in there, I snatch his VR headset off, and his brother starts holding him down. And immediately he starts screaming like he's getting exercise, bro. He started acting like the Annabelle doll was coming after him. We start trying to be like an intervention on some Beyond Scared Straight, telling him that what he's gonna become, and one day he's not gonna have internet, he's not gonna have a job, he's gonna be homeless, he won't be able to talk to his girlfriend. Go find a real girl. We're trying to hammer that into him. He's not trying to hear it. He's basically saying she's all he needs, she's perfect, he has all these AI things to where she's basically real, just let him live. We're not taking it, bro. I start trying to break the VR headset, and for some reason I couldn't. It's like a break, like you can't break that, it's so difficult. I'm trying to do it, and this little boy tweaks out, bro. He bites his big brother and comes out and lunges at me. Like I said, these people are Samoan. They're big. This little boy is big. He's 18 at this point, so he can catch these hands. It's 1-2, and he big. Had to get in a scruffle for the VR headset, bro. But I basically ended up getting it from him, pushing him back in the room. He was on the floor, nothing too crazy. Broke the VR headset and went along my way. That's get back for the dog, bro. I hope you never meet your girlfriend again.
That's wild. Like with everything else, man. Like with everything else, moderation is key. And some people just don't need to mess with some stuff. Like, it takes a strong mind to mess with things that create a whole other reality that you can interact with. It takes a strong mind. You can't just be letting everyone and every child play with these VR headsets and play with AI right off the rip. No, you need a fully developed mind, just like with smoking cigarettes or any other thing. You need a fully developed mind just to be able to mess with the stuff. Otherwise, it will influence you. And even then, when you have a fully developed mind, or at least that's what the law would consider fully developed by legal standards, even some people of age and older can still be fooled by it because they're not street smart or book smart or tech smart, or, you know, just any of those combined, or any one small thing that they didn't learn. They could be fooled very easily and influenced very easily. So I see where he's coming from, but that was a ridiculous story. All right, well, that's all we have for today, everybody. I hope you had a good time hanging out watching these videos. I had a pretty good time hanging out watching these videos. Some really interesting ones today, and then we ended off on that crazy story. I don't know about that, but that was pretty crazy. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all of you keep coming through every time I post one of these. I appreciate all the interactions, all the shares, all the likes. If you're new around here, we usually do this 5, maybe 6 times a week lately, and yeah, we'll be doing it again tomorrow. So do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, pop in whenever we got one of these videos up. Well, I hope that everyone has a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever it might be for you. And until next time, peace.